line up courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or gossip though.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Yo, 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 yo! What's up? What's really good, my people? It's your boy, Brevon Towns, and this is another episode of Sports Plus Life. Y'all already know what's going down today, bruh. Yeah, so guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off, boy. Cut! All right. How's everybody doing today? Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brevon Towns, and this here's another episode of Sports Plus Life, that there podcast where we talk about all the necessary sports events as well as necessary life events if it is really, really hot. So how is everybody doing again? It is Friday, okay? February 26, 2021. Okay, so it's started off sunny. Last couple of days has been like springtime here in the Richmond, VA, but now it's fitting to be ugly. Now it's no snow though, but now it's just fitting to pretty much rain. It's supposed to rain. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm looking at the weather forecast. It's supposed to rain Saturday, Sunday, Monday, then Wednesday. Damn it, man. It's supposed to rain Sunday, and it's supposed to be 71 degrees on Sunday. I'll be in shorts. I tell you that. I'm in shorts if it's 60 degrees, for real. Real talk. But anyway, I hope everybody is doing good, doing well. So, you know, we got some things that we need to discuss. So, without further ado, let's get to it, bruh. Okay, so we're going to start first quickly with the news that has really it's started to die down now, but was pretty much dominating the headlines at the beginning of this week in sports. Of course, that was the car accident that Tiger Woods was in and is pretty much is lucky to be alive. And he has some serious injuries, but none of which are life-threatening. I believe that he has maybe a couple of broken bones in his legs. He was immediately taken to surgery at the UCLA Medical Center. Now, I don't, discuss golf much, if any, on this show because I've never been a golf fan. And quite frankly, I'm not educated enough to know about the sport. I think the only time that I talked about golf on this show was when Tiger won the Masters in 2019, because that was such a redemption story that I had to talk about it because it was very, very relevant. Well, Tiger Woods is one of the most iconic figures in the world of sports and has been for the last 25 years. So definitely, I mean, we were scared at first because, oh my goodness, I think the first thing that people were starting to think about was having flashbacks of Kobe Bryant and the fatal helicopter crash last year. But, Tiger made it. He survived. He's conscious. He was actually just transferred from the UCLA Medical Center to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. And that is what I've heard is a place where a lot of high-profile celebrities go to when they need medical attention. So we definitely wish Tiger Woods a speedy recovery. And I hear some people talking about, when he possibly now will be able to play golf, because I think him playing in the Masters this year was up in the air due to the back issues. But I mean, who gives a rat's balls really right now if he's going to play golf? The only thing that I'm happy about is that their children, that his children did not lose their father. That's what I'm happy about. I mean, Tiger Woods, he's been in the public spotlight for a very long time. He's still only 45 years old. He has a lot of life left to live. And I'm definitely grateful that he is still with us. And also, after the, toxicology report showed that he was not inebriated, that he wasn't drunk, that this was just an accident. I mean, I've never been out to California, but I've heard that this road that he was driving on was very dangerous, very tricky. and that he just lost control in it. It was just an accident. I've seen pictures of the crash, and it's like, gosh, I mean, you really are lucky to survive that. And it just wasn't Tiger's time, and thank God for that. So we wish him a speedy recovery. Dude, get back on the golf course. Never again, if you don't feel that you can, even though I know you will. Because what I hope Tiger Woods has done is I hope his children have seen him, and he just gave them the biggest, tightest hug ever. And the outpour of love for Tiger has been sensational. It has really been sensational because he's loved. He's definitely loved. And we all know what happened with the personal life and stuff like that. You put that behind you. Like I said, the 2019 Masters Championship was absolutely wonderful. So get well soon, Tiger. I just wanted to put that out there in the atmosphere. Now, I will go to the NB of the A because things are getting interesting now in the land of the National Basketball Association. Next week is the NBA All-Star Game, which of course was met with heavy resistance and clear. I think I said this last week on the show, is just clearly a money grab. I don't necessarily think they should have an All-Star Game, seeing as how they're playing such a condensed schedule. But I actually like the schedule. I think they should go back to that when they go back to 82 games. Well, the All-Stars have been named. You have your Eastern Conference and your Western Conference. I don't know if they're doing it, back to the way that it usually was, East versus West. I hope they do, because this whole Team LeBron versus Team Steph or Team Giannis, yeah. That's about all I have to say about that. But anyway, the leading vote getter, I guess the captain of the Eastern Conference, it was Kevin Durant. It was just announced today that Kevin Durant, who's missed the last 6 games with a hamstring injury, will not be playing in the All-Star Game. He was replaced by the Pacers forward Domantas Sabonis, but he was the leading vote getter. And other starters are Giannis, Bradley Beal, who leads the league in scoring, Joel Embiid, and Kyrie Irving. That rounds out the starting lineup for the East. And I don't know who's going to take Kevin Durant's spot in the starting lineup. I wouldn't, because I don't think it's going to be Sabonis. I could see maybe, let's see, the reserves are Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, James Harden, Zach LaVine making his first-time All-Star appearance, along with Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. And when this show was brand spanking new, I always used to praise Julius Randle and hated how the Lakers traded him once LeBron James got to town. Now he's an All-Star. Ben Simmons is making his 3rd All-Star appearance. Nikolai Vucevic is making his 2nd. And like I said, Sabonis is now replacing Kevin Durant. So that is the East. The Western Conference captain is LeBron James. Joining him in the starting lineup is Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikolai Jokic, the Joker, and Kawhi Leonard. First of all, Luka should not be in the starting lineup. I don't give a damn what anybody says. That should be Damian Lillard. And I'm just going to leave it at that. The reserves are Anthony Davis. He's not going to play. Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, Zion Williamson, and Devin Booker is replacing Anthony Davis, and this is his 2nd All-Star game. And I don't know how in the hell did Devin Booker not make the All-Star team in the first place? I mean, come on. He should have made the All-Star team in the first place, and if anybody should be replacing AD, who also was not named an All-Star, is Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. So, I mean, that is what it is. That's next week. So we'll see. I don't think a lot of players of your key players are going to be as invested. Like I said, we're already down Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant. And personally, if they're not, if the main players, your true veteran players like a LeBron James, if he's already voiced his displeasure about the All-Star game this year, I don't think he should play. He should just skip it. Because he's already said, I'm going to be there, but I'm not going to be invested. Then don't play. Or play for 2 minutes and check yourself out. Walk off the floor. You know, it's going to be in Atlanta, and you never know. Courtside Karen could be waiting for him. But anyway, as far as what's going on in the regular season, I'm pretty sure people have noticed now, but the Utah Jazz is on fire. They're on fire. This team started off the regular season 4-4. Since then, they have won 22 of their last 24 games, including an absolute rout of my Los Angeles Lakers last night, or 2 nights ago.
Yo, killing me with this.
And they are very well coached. They everything that they have. Now they have their superstar in Donovan Mitchell. Everything else they have is very solid. Rudy Gobert is a superstar defender, and he's very serviceable on offense. Mike Conley, who should have been an all-star this year, again, has formed back into Mike Conley that we saw from Memphis. They have Bogdanovich. Jordan Clarkson looks like he could be the 6th man of the year for the Utah Jazz. You still have Joe Ingles. You have Royce O'Neal, who's a lockdown wing defender. They and Quinn Snyder can coach his butt off. He can really coach. The Utah Jazz, now, there are a lot of people out there that are not going to take the Utah Jazz seriously, particularly because Anthony Davis is not healthy. And this injury for Anthony Davis is more serious than people realize because it's an Achilles injury, and I think that they realize he is on the cusp of possibly rupturing it like Kevin Durant did and then being out for all of next season. You know, I would not be, if I was the Los Angeles Lakers, I would shut KD down at least until the playoffs. I don't know if I said this last week or not, but I would. I would shut Kevin Durant down for the rest of the regular season. But what I will say about this, remember all of the praise that was given to Rob Pelinka for this offseason? How many people I heard saying the Lakers won the offseason because they got Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder, and they picked up Wesley Matthews, and they signed AD they got AD to the, you know, the long-term deal, and LeBron signed a 2-year extension. Without Anthony Davis on that team, the Lakers are average. They're an average team. They've lost 4 straight. They're in the 3rd spot in the Western Conference. They have lost to the Washington Wizards, who, by the way, is playing damn good basketball. They've lost to the Wizards. They've lost to the Jazz. They've who else have they lost to? I believe they lost to Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. Well, they lost to Brooklyn. They without AD, they're an average team. And if the situation is reversed, if it was LeBron injured and AD healthy, the Lakers are the Pelicans all over again. This is why, now I understand the trade for Anthony Davis bought us an instant championship. Can't argue there. But this is why I was never a fan. And you can go back and look through the history of this show when Magic Johnson was still the president of basketball operations for the Lakers. And they were first talking about making this trade for Anthony Davis during the 2018-2019 season. Go back in my timeline. I was never a fan of it because, one, you know, giving up Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, even trading Julius Randle before the season, because now Julius Randle has ascended to an all-star. Brandon Ingram was an all-star last year, should have been an all-star this year. Now, if one of those players get hurt, LeBron or AD, you're screwed. You're screwed. And I'm going to say this. I mean, even I would shut AD down for the rest of the regular season. You know, with that being said, unless the Lakers make a major league move, Lakers ain't winning the chip this year. Lakers ain't winning the chip this year. I don't see it. I mean, for one, even if they were healthy, I don't know if I have them beating Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn is just phenomenal. I think the Philadelphia 76ers are going to have something to say about that. But it's getting very interesting because you have the Utah Jazz, who's playing like the best team in basketball. I was wrong about the James Harden potentially to Brooklyn because Brooklyn looks so magnificent to start the season off without him. But since Harden has come to Brooklyn, he's totally changed his game up. He's where he needs to be, in a place where he's not the number one option on the team that's looking to win a championship. Because I've said it before, and I'll say it again and again and again. If James Harden is your number one option on your team, you're not winning a title. The role that he's in right now is perfect. It is perfect. Hard to see anybody beating Brooklyn 4 times out of 7. And Brooklyn's won 8 straight games. Kevin Durant ain't even been there for most of them. Kevin Durant's about to miss his 6th straight game tonight, if I'm not mistaken. And they're starting to gradually improve on defense. I mean, they don't have to be an elite defensive team to win the championship, not with that offensive firepower. I don't think the league has ever seen 3 players, with the offensive skill set of these guys. I can't sit here and think of a time, at least when I was alive, maybe the Lakers back in the 70s with Wilt, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor, but I can't sit here and, because when I'm talking about 3 guys who can go out there at any point in time and put up 60. The Warriors, the Warriors of, from 2015 to 2018, I guess you could say that, because Steph, Clay, and then you add Kevin Durant, any one of those guys could put up 60. So I guess maybe I have to take that statement back. Maybe I have seen it. It's just hard pressed for me to see anybody beating Brooklyn 4 times out of 7. And Golden State was actually a very good defensive team, aside from them being the greatest show on earth. And again, the only reason why the Raptors won that title is because Kevin Durant was hurt. Props to the Raptors for winning it. But we all know that if KD and then Clay hadn't got hurt, they would have won a game. If the Warriors were healthy, they maybe would have snuck a game. But as far as the Lakers going back to them, I've heard that Boogie Cousins is going to be on the trading block or outright released, because right now, letting Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee go does not look like a smart move. It's not looking like a smart move. Marc Gasol has given us nothing. Nothing. Montrezl Harrell, he gives you energy, he gives you buckets, but he's small. He's not a center. He's a genuine power forward, but he's not a center. And like I said, Marc Gasol has given you absolutely nothing. Maybe the Lakers go out and get DeMarcus Cousins. They had him last year, then he got hurt. That opened the door for them to bring in Dwight Howard. So maybe you try again with Boogie. Maybe you see if you can make a play for Andre Drummond, because you really don't have any assets unless getting rid of Kyle Kuzma or Jordan Matthews or even maybe Dennis Schroeder, and I don't see you doing that. Schroeder's your 3rd best player, but you gave the farm up for the Anthony Davis trade. So maybe you can get lucky and try and catch Drummond getting released from Cleveland. That would be big time. Maybe you can catch Drummond and maybe let Marc Gasol walk, because he's giving you nothing.
Bye, bitch.
Nothing. And I like Marc Gasol, originally drafted by the Lakers way back when and traded for his brother, who's a Hall of Famer. Not saying that Marc Gasol ain't. He'll get in, I'm pretty sure. He won a ring. He won Defensive Player of the Year. He's made multiple All-Star games. He'll get in, but Marc Gasol looks washed. He looks washed. And another team that is going through the ringer is the Boston Celtics. What the fuck happened to the Celtics? For real. They are just playing the suckiest brand. Boston Celtics right now are outside of the playoffs, 2 games under 500, on a team that has 2 All-Stars. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I know Marcus Smart is hurt and he's still out. I know that Kemba Walker has not been healthy. They got to do something. They got to do something. And they had a chance to get James Harden, too. They had a chance, and Danny Ainge was happy with what he had. I don't blame him, because I did like the move last season to bring in Kemba Walker to replace Kyrie because I think Kemba, I like Kemba as a player, but Kemba stinks this year. You know, like I said, it may be because he's not healthy, but Kemba has not been that guy. He has not been that guy because now Kemba was never as good as Kyrie Irving, but on any given night, Kemba could go out there and give you 50 on any given night. But the Celtics are looking bad right now. It's looking bad right now for Brad Stevens because maybe his voice is starting to run thin because I'm going to tell you, those Philadelphia 76ers are looking damn good.
Excellent.
I for one, hope to see a Brooklyn Nets Philadelphia 76ers Eastern Conference Finals because Joel Embiid right now to me should be the MVP. Ben Simmons, while I still think he needs to work on his offense, he's doing what he needs. You know, maybe shooting won't be his thing, at least right now, because he's going to have to develop some kind of jump shot because once his athleticism starts to erode him, if he doesn't have any type of jump shot, he'll be done. He'll be finished. But he's doing what Zion Williamson is mostly doing because Zion gets most of his points in the paint. And feast on the fact that defense sucks in the NBA this year. Defense is terrible. Terrible. Like, I don't know the way these guys are being coached, but defense stinks. Everybody wants to shoot a damn three-point shot. I don't know if you guys saw the way the Nuggets lost to the Wizards, who, again, playing good ball, but you have a 4-on-1 fast break. You're down by 2. Everybody camps out at the three-point line, and nobody was in the paint. You had a wide-open 100% chance dunk. Analytics is fucking sports up, you guys. I'm serious. I hate analytics. Analytics has no business in sports. None whatsoever. So Ben Simmons is doing what Ben Simmons needs to do. He just go ahead, take advantage of the fact that barely anybody plays defense in the post anymore in the NBA. And not only that, Ben Simmons is a lockdown defender. He's like a shutdown corner. So I would like to see that matchup against the Nets. I'm not saying because you're going to have to put Ben Simmons on Kevin Durant. I'm not saying that he'll shut down KD, but it will definitely be interesting. So you see I'm going into detail now about the NBA of the A because now the season is getting interesting. I'd have to say right now, the most disappointing team in the Eastern Conference, I'd have to say, is probably the Boston Celtics. I would say the Washington Wizards, but the Wizards have won 6 out of their last 7 games. They're playing good ball. They play the Timberwolves next. They should win that game. I thought the Wizards would be in the hunt for maybe an 8th seed in the playoffs, and that still may be the case because what? The Indiana Pacers are the 4th seed in the East, and they're 15-15. You know, so it is what it is. So I'd have to say right now the most disappointing team is the Boston Celtics. I would have said also the Miami Heat because they were in the finals last year, but they were injured and COVID bitten, and the Heat are starting to play some ball. They're playing ball. They are playing ball. The most surprising team in a good way, I'd have to say, are the New York Knicks right now. Tibbs has got them playing ball. The Knicks are actually in the 6th seed right now. They're under 500, but, you know, it's the Eastern Conference. But the Knicks are playing ball. You know, Julius Randle is an all-star. R.J. Barrett has been playing pretty good. You brought back Derrick Rose. Tibbs has a following. I think Taj Gibson is there, too. Thibodeau has a following like Bill Parcells. Remember when Bill Parcells would coach the Giants and the Patriots and the Jets, and Dave Meggett was on every single team he coached? You know, he has Dave Meggett and Pepper Johnson. Thibodeau has been the coach of the Bulls, the Timberwolves, and now the Knicks, and Derrick Rose has been on each team. I think Taj Gibson has too. He'll probably bring back Joakim Noah. He'll probably bring Joakim Noah back to the Knicks. But they're balling. They're playing good ball. I hope he doesn't wear them out like he tends to do. But they've been the most surprising team to me in the Eastern Conference. For the West, I'd have to say, obviously, I think the most surprising team is Utah. They're playing lights out right now. I think the most disappointing team right now is the Dallas Mavericks, followed closely by Denver, followed closely by the Denver Nuggets. Dallas had a lot of hype with them, you know, well, by some people, like Max Kellerman, who was always on the Porzingis bandwagon. You know, I always hear with Max Kellerman, if Porzingis, there's a lot of ifs with Porzingis. Porzingis can't stay healthy. I think I saw him and Luka as a great 1-2 combination, and still may be. But to me, they have been damn disappointing this thus far. Denver not too far behind, because Denver finished second in the West last year. And it's not because of Jokic, that's for damn sure. Jamal Murray needs to step his game up. He really does. He really needs to step his game up. And maybe he needs to pretend like he's back in the bubble or something. I don't know. But he needs to get it together. So my most surprising for the Western Conference thus far, Utah. Most disappointing, Dallas. So now I will move topics to the NF of the L. All the talk has been about the quarterback conundrum, the unhappy quarterbacks, and how ironic is it that the most unhappiest of quarterbacks, or the ones that's not getting really the respect put on their name that they deserve, would be black quarterbacks. I'm not trying to say that to insinuate nothing, but ain't this about a bitch? You lied to me. That's probably how Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson feel. I mean, it's no secret with the Deshaun Watson thing. That's been going on for a while. But now this Russell Wilson thing is really starting to gain steam now that we've heard about 4 teams that if he was to get traded, he said he wants to play in Seattle, but if he were to get traded, he would want to play for either the Saints, the Bears, the Raiders, or the Cowboys. Why he would want to go play for the Cowboys is beyond me. I personally think that if he were to get traded, the spot that if I was him, I would want to go to would definitely be New Orleans. I mean, without question. I mean, New Orleans is already a Super Bowl contender now. I mean, well, we don't know what's going to happen with Drew Brees. If everybody thinks he's going to retire, he should. Drew Brees is a great quarterback, but he's Washington. But I think he should stay. I think he's in a good situation in Seattle, but I don't blame him. For his grievances. I really don't. I mean, all he wants to do is make sure that he's protected, that he doesn't get hit as much. I mean, dude wants to win. He believes that his team is good enough to be in the Super Bowl. And I understand that Seattle paid Russ a king's ransom, and he deserved it. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You've gone to the playoffs 8 of the 9 years that he has been in the league. So once the Legion of Boom eventually faded to black, your franchise has been carried by Russell Wilson, and they haven't always had the best weapons around him. You drafted well with DK Metcalf. He is a superstar. Tyler Lockett is the perfect complement to him. I believe he's an elite wide receiver as well. You have to get that offensive line straight, because I think Chris Carson is a good running back. The defense, which was horrible at one point last year, eventually came to light. I think the acquisition of Carlos Dunlap was just as important as bringing in Jamal Adams early in the season. But Russ is if he's your franchise quarterback, look, man, the days of shut up and play is over, okay? Let's just get that clear. Biatch. Slowly but surely, you're seeing these NFL players, and I'm not even going to say slowly. This shit is starting to hit like wildfire. These quarterbacks in particular are taking the stance of these players in the NBA. They're believing in player empowerment, and I don't blame them. I mean, and it ain't just the black quarterbacks. It ain't just the black quarterbacks, because Tom Brady felt disrespected. He got the hell out of Dodge and went to Tampa. Aaron Rodgers has been airing his grievances. They drafted his successor, and he went out and won the damn MVP. Fuck you, and fuck you. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is. Now, as far as Dak Prescott's situation goes, like I've said before, I'm not going to get much in, I'm not going to just cover that story ad nauseum, because, look, for one, do I think Dak Prescott should get paid $40 million a year? No, I do not. The dude he's not a elite quarterback. He's a very good quarterback, but he ain't on the level of Russell or Deshaun or Mahomes or Rodgers, or he might not even be on the level of Josh Allen now. Do I think Dak should get paid $40 million? No. Would I pay Dak $40 million a year? No, I would not.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I wouldn't. Do I want to see Dak get paid $40 million a year? Yeah, I do, because I hate the Cowboys. I would kill their salary cap. Fuck them. And Dak would get his money. I mean, Dak has earned a big payday. But here's the thing about that. And I'm going to be quick on this, because, like I said, Dallas is a losing team. They get all of this coverage about Dak's contract. Look. Dak's last 20 starts, he's 9-11. And you take away those 3 starts in 2019 when they were playing the 3 worst teams in the NFL at the time, Washington, the Giants, and the Dolphins. And since then, Dak is 6-11. They were 6-11. I don't want to hear about all the yards he's throwing. Y'all know I've said this before. I don't want to hear about all the yards he was throwing for when he's coming back from a 28-point deficit that he in part contributed to by fumbling and throwing interceptions. So let me wrap this up about Dak.
God damn!
He's won the negotiation. He's won. He has won this negotiation. Jerry Jones has lost this one. He has, because now, I don't think Dak, honestly, I don't think, because Dak is about to get so much money, I don't think he wants to come to a long-term deal now. He can play this season on a franchise tag, slightly over $37 million. If the Cowboys franchise him again next year, which they won't, it's $54 million for 1 year. Dallas is not going to do that. Dallas is going to let him walk. And the cap is going to go up, so some team is going to pay Dak about $45 million a season for about a 3-year deal, maybe 4-year deal. So he's about to get paid. This is Dak's last year in Dallas. He's going to get his $37 million, which over the last 2 years would have given him about little under $69 million. And then he's going to get about $120 more million, probably from my Denver Broncos. Because I'm looking at the salary cap moves that we're making, letting go of Jarrell Casey and letting go of A.J. Bouye after 1 season, and they had pretty good contracts. They're freeing up money so they can make a run at Dak next year and so they can keep Von Miller on the team. Just my hunch. So now, as far as Deshaun Watson goes, Deshaun Watson is trying to keep it quiet. He really is. He's trying to keep it quiet. But the Texans are hell-bent in saying that they're not going to trade him. And now I have been on record on here saying that if I were an owner and you sign that contract, you play that contract. But if Deshaun Watson feels disrespected in a way that it prevents him from looking in the mirror, then maybe he needs to go. Then ain't no maybe to it, because he's already dug in and saying he's not taking another snap as a Houston Texan. Now, what I think is going to happen, this is going to get real ugly. I think Houston is going to call his bluff. We had this conversation when I had Sports Plus Life talking ish with Tony and Sean. I think Houston is going to call his bluff, because you realize if you don't show up to training camp, OTAs, that all costs you money. Then Houston can ask for part of their signing bonus back. Then you're missing game checks. What I think is going to happen is I think Deshaun Watson will report, but he's going to act like an asshole. He's going to be a malcontent. Or he can pull the Jalen Ramsey move, what Jalen Ramsey did a couple years when he wanted out of Jacksonville. Yeah, I'll show up. Ow, my back hurts. Oh, yep, got medical clearance. I got medical proof. My back hurts. Got to sit out, still get paid. Deshaun Watson is not going to lose no money, but he's going to be such a distraction, and I hate for it to get to that, because that so doesn't seem like the type of person that he is. But if he doesn't want to be there, I think he's trying to let Houston save face and just trade him. Just get him out of there. You know, like I said to Tony and Sean, call Jacksonville. Get that number 1 draft pick. Get that number 1 overall pick and then 2 more number 1s. And maybe a player or 2. Draft you Trevor Lawrence. At least you know you'll still have your quarterback of the future. Draft you Trevor Lawrence. Then you put Deshaun in there, then Deshaun would be with Urban Meyer. That's what I would do. That is what I would do. Because and then for Jacksonville, you don't know if, there's no such thing as a sure thing. I haven't seen a quarterback in the NFL that was a sure thing and that lasted a long time since Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is the last quarterback in a draft class where, he's a can't miss, and he'll be there for 15 years, and they were right about that. I ain't seen it since. It was supposed to be Andrew Luck. He retired. It was supposed to be RG3. What? No, I'm not even going to say goddamn Dwayne Haskins' name. No. I'm not going to insult my 2 viewers' ears by doing that. No. But you get what I'm trying to say. So I think this is going to get very ugly with the Houston Texans. And, what do you do? what do you do? I mean, I understand Houston wanting to hold on to him, but you have done something. I think it goes beyond just them lying to him, saying that he was going to be a part of the hiring process for the GM, for the head coach. I think it goes beyond that. It goes way beyond that because Houston did what Dallas didn't do. They financially took care of their dude. But then they did something else that has made him want to chuck the deuces up and say, peace. And you just don't see that with a star quarterback in his prime. Like I said, Houston did what Dallas ain't doing. Because Dak is going to take the Kirk Cousins route and going to be paid. The player who has made the most money in the NFL over the last 5 years is Kirk Cousins. Can you believe that? I've said this since I started this show. Kirk Cousins has the best agent in sports. He has the greatest agent in sports. So that's the route that Dak is going to take. Deshaun, that's going to be... Ooh, boy, it's going to be interesting when it's OTAs and training camp and all of that stuff opens up because Dak don't want to be there. Deshaun, he don't want to be there. And like I said, this is Dak's last year in Dallas. Russell Wilson, well, they say his relationship with Pete Carroll is still very good. So that helps. Let's not that at least it ain't like Carson Wentz. They said Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson went like 6 weeks, something like that, without talking. How the hell are you the starting quarterback and you go over a month without even actually communicating at all with your head coach, who happens to be the offensive play caller? So at least Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson ain't on that level yet. But look, man, Russ is in the prime of his career. He wants another Super Bowl ring. He wants another Super Bowl ring so that could be called his Super Bowl. Because we all know when the Seattle Seahawks beat the living crap out of my Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl in 2000 for the 2013 season, that was about the Legion of Boom. That was about the Legion of Boom. He wants another Super Bowl so it can be about him. He's a competitor. I don't blame him. I really don't. He's 32 years old. Quarterbacks are playing now longer, but he wants to be protected. Why do you think Brady is able to do this? Brady's able to do this because he gets down quick, he releases the ball quick, and he generally has great protection. Generally. That's why and Russell Wilson takes care of his body during the offseason, just like Tom Brady. So he's saying, why the hell can't we do what Tampa Bay just did? And remember, at the beginning of last season, my Super Bowl prediction was Kansas City versus Seattle. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see Mahomes go up against Russell. Maybe that will happen this year. I don't know. We got a long way till the NFL season starts, but it's 2021. The football season is never over. I remember when I was a kid, when the football season was over, you really didn't hear about it again until the draft. Now, football is 365 days a week now, baby. So, oh my goodness. With that being said, folk, with a buzzer. Well, people, I hope you guys enjoyed this show today. Thank you again for listening to another episode of Sports Plus Liggity Life. If you are not a subscriber, definitely hit that subscription button. If you have any comments to leave, holla at your boy. I will be sure to get back at you. I hope everybody has a safe weekend, and I hope everybody really put on for Black History Month. I swear, why is the shortest month in the year Black History Month? But, I'm not going to get started. I'm about to get out of here. Again, it's your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. I'm out this bitch.